Okay, today's class is on freeze drying, snacks and desserts and things like that. And we always do kind of the same things, but sometimes it's fun, especially in the holiday seasons, to look at new stuff. So we'll we'll cover the basic stuff, but we'll also cover some new stuff that maybe you didn't think about before and some ideas. So my name's Daren Jensen. I own Wasatch Freeze Dry. We are a manufacturer co-packer. So if you've noticed our website, it's changing and evolving. So we have a new facility that we're putting together that we will be focusing on large projects. We already manufacture for things that go to Nigeria, for example. We manufacture obeata sauce. Have anybody heard of that? No. You have?
You told me last time.
Oh, because I explained. All right, he's ahead of all of you. But we do a lot of things, even exporting to countries. So we do a lot of freeze drying, a lot of different things, which I hope helps me help you and your questions and things that you do every day. We just do it a little bit bigger. Plus, I freeze dry a lot at home too. So we have lots of things in common. Okay, so I kind of got the introduction out of the way. If you buy a freeze dryer from anywhere, you're welcome to buy a freeze dryer from me. I'm a dealer. But if you buy it from Harvest Right directly or Home Depot or Costco or whatever, I will pick it up, bring it out to your house and deliver it, set it up, and go through some private training and get you going. And that's $175. If you get one directly from me, then I will bring it out, set it up, and at no charge. So there's a value there. I also have a book out on Amazon. If you want to get into, there's a lot of really helpful things in there, especially for people that are new to freeze drying. And it's not basic stuff, but it's things that cause you to think a little bit more. For example, and a lot of you have been in my meats class, the way you freeze dry meats is so important because of the fat. So I have a process in the book that explains how to do meats. And I actually went back to when I very first started freeze drying. My basement's been rented out to my son and his family, and we just moved them out to Ohio. So our whole basement's free now. It's awesome. But all of my freeze dry stuff's down there. And so we went out and we started sorting through it, and we started picking out things that were back in 1999, 2000. We wanted to test them. And I've always recommend go back and test and use your food to make sure you did it right. And if you didn't do it right, try to figure out what you did wrong. Well, I did find a few things that were a little soft. And so we sorted through them, and I do remember some of the mistakes I made. And so go back and check those things. But the book has a lot of those types of things in it. Very helpful hints, has some recipes too, but recipes you can get from any book, right?
So if they're soft, are they bad?
Not necessarily, but have you ever had a soft strawberry? It's not the best, right? I mean, it's kind of a texture thing. It either needs to be crunchy or it needs to be juicy. In between, it just doesn't feel right. So it doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just, and a lot of those you can just put them back in and finish them out. But it all depends on what you feel is if it's still good or not. All right, will you, anybody that knew, make sure that they get one of those? All right, so we do have a line of our own freeze-dry snacks, and they have them up front. Let's see if I can turn that a little bit more, that we have. All the usual things, strawberries, chocolate-covered strawberries, s'mores, which look like this, and that will be part of the raffle today. But basically marshmallows, rolled in chocolate, rolled in cinnamon graham cracker crust. So those are probably one of our biggest hits. Not real healthy, but a snack altogether. Bananas, mangoes, apples, chocolate drizzled bananas, asparagus, pizza bites is our newest one, which we cannot keep in stock. We can talk about that. For you all, it's the easiest thing, and the kids love them. I like them just to come home and have a pizza cracker, so to speak. So anyway, I love pizza. So, but this is our line of snacks that we do, not only for under our own brand, Wasatch Gourmet, but we also sell them, private label them for other companies and things like that. So let's talk about just the freeze-dried fruit a little bit. And what I want to do is we can talk about each individual ones that may be giving you trouble, things that you can do to use them for the holidays, things like that. So the top 10 ones, probably the most popular, well, the top one is easy, right? Strawberry. I mean, you can't do freeze drying without doing strawberries, but apples, bananas, blueberries, mangoes, pineapple, raspberries, peaches, cherries, grapes, those are the most popular. Granted, there's a lot of varieties of apples and different types of berries. There's blueberries and things. So let me ask you a question. Are there ones that you're having problems with that we can talk about individually? Yes, grapes. Okay. Tell me what's happening.
Well, I haven't attempted it for quite some time, but I cut them in half and laid them with the open side up. Mm-hmm. It just seemed like I could not get them dry. It didn't work.
What color? Green, red?
Purple.
Purple. Anybody else have that same problem? I have the same problem. No matter how long I freeze-dry grapes, they never get crunchy. Never.
So therefore, we think they're not done.
Correct. Correct. You will probably never, ever get grapes to be crunchy.
But they're still good.
Oh, they're great.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I can still package them and store them.
Yeah, they're not going to last as long as like other things, depending on the chemical composition of the grape, how much water it had in it, different things. But they're great snacks. So I don't do grapes anymore either, just because I don't like the texture of a soft grape. It just doesn't taste right. Even though it tastes good, it's not. It just doesn't seem like it comes out right. So grapes are one of those. A short second from a grape is pineapple, and we've talked about pineapple, and you can run it forever, and we're talking fresh pineapple, right? So we have some solutions for that. And you can do this with the grapes too, but who likes fried grapes, right? But on pineapple, it's a whole different story, because we've all been to like the Brazilian restaurants that grill the rodizzios and that grill pineapple. So the problem with many of the fruits is that the chemical composition of the sugars and the water, they just don't like to release. Combine that with fiber, that's why it's so hard for grapes to be freeze-dried. But with pineapple, if you go through and grill it, right, caramelize that sugar a little bit and then freeze-dry it, not only does it give it that smoky flavor, but it breaks down those sugars and allows for the water to come off, and it will get crispy.
How does it taste?
Awesome. I mean, that kind of that grilled smoky flavor. I put it in a Traeger and just let it go for 4 or 5 hours, and it's just it just gives that smooth flavor. I love it.
Is a Traeger a smoker?
What's that?
Is a Traeger a smoker?
Yes, a Traeger's a smoker, but if you have a barbecue grill, you could cut it in rings. Is what I'd core it, cut it in rings, and then just grill it. And all depends on how fat it is, but I would grill it so you have nice grill marks, and it's getting a little flimsy, and then just stick it right on your trays, put it in the freezer, give it a freeze for overnight, and then freeze dry it. Now you can do, you can cut it in bits and chunks if you wanted it as well, if you didn't want rings. Now, if you're doing store-bought pineapple, that's different, right? Because if you buy pineapple in a can, it's been cooked, right? Because it's been vacuum sealed and pressure sealed. So it's been basically, I'll use the term loosely, blanched. So it does work a little bit better if you're using canned pineapple. I recommend grilling it anyway. If you're using pineapple chunks, throw it in a pan, saute it up a little bit, and then throw it on the grill or on the tray. Okay, makes sense? Questions?
So you're saying fresh to cut it in chunks and fry it, or barbecue it?
All pineapple I do. I fry or grill all my pineapple, even if it comes out of the can, because I like that caramelization flavor that comes with it. But if you pour it out of a can, it's been heat sealed, and so it'll freeze dry a little better.
So all you have to do is fry it, then put it on the tray. You have to do your barbecue and then.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't want to use a barbecue and you have a can or fresh, you can just saute it in a pan and get that same caramelization. Okay? Yes?
Do you freeze it after you do that? Do you freeze them before you put them in the freezer?
I do, yes. You don't have to. It just takes, if you're using your freeze dryer as a freezer, it could take upwards to 8 to 10 hours to freeze it, where, I have freezers already going, so I'll just put it in there. But
So I was looking at, I've done all, because we have peach tree and a pear tree, and pears are the best to me because it brings out even the sweeter flavor. Just finished my last batch yesterday, but I read somewhere you can do watermelon, and if it's frozen, you cut it in strips. Is that true?
you can freeze dry anything.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not is a whole different story. I'm not a big watermelon fan, freeze dried. I think,
What does it end up turning out like?
well, I think it turns bitter a little bit. And maybe it's just the watermelons that I've had. But watermelons are like 80+% water. And so depending on how you cut it, it could go down to almost flat. I mean, it could freeze. It just doesn't do well because it doesn't have a really good structure to it. But watermelon powder and things like that, it's really a preference thing. Yes?
We just did watermelon last week.
How'd it go?
It took a long time, but it was not a good watermelon. It just tasted like water. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was bland, but the little chunks, they ended up being very small, but they are delicious.
Yeah.
It was
like a Jolly Rancher now.
Yeah, it was like all the water went away, and we found flavor. I thought it wasn't this good when we ate it, and so we just thought, well, we'll just see what happens. It took a long time. We were like at 46 hours maybe. Mm-hmm. It took a long time.
Yeah, and it goes back to those sugar structures too, depending on.
It was so good. It was like all the flavor was intensified in this little tiny chunk.
So did you put them in cubes?
Yeah.
Okay. I just have a lot of frozen, so I always when watermelon kind of gets to that point, I always cut it up, and then, I don't know if anybody's made this, you do Crystal Light or powdered lemonade with watermelon and ice, and it's the best slushy. So, but I have way too many watermelon in my freezers, Ziploc bags of them. So when I saw that, I go, oh, I'll try. But then I go, I better ask first before I do this.
So let me just recap if you didn't hear. So watermelon is a preference thing. There's things you can do with it, like you use it, you powder up the watermelon and put it in a drink mix.
So when I cut it up and put it in Ziploc bags, it cut up in pieces, and then it's frozen, so you just throw it in a blender with water and ice, and you don't need ice really, but and like Crystal Light or powdered lemonade is the only thing.
Oh, okay.
With frozen, but then I end up with so much watermelon, my freezer's taking up too much room, and I thought, oh look, it says you can freeze dry it, I'll try, but I thought I better ask first because I don't want to, spend all that time and it doesn't work.
The funnest thing, and I love experimenting. So if you take that watermelon and freeze dry it and make a powder out of it, in fact, I have an example here of strawberries. So I'll take strawberries and powder it up like this, and then my wife does a lot of shakes in the morning, that are quick, and so she'll just throw different types of powders in it, which are not natural flavors anymore, right? Because we know when it says natural flavoring, it comes from DuPont and not the farmer. So we create our own natural flavors by just freeze drying and powdering fruits. So if we want to do lemonades or parties, and instead of just doing water and throwing in some lemon slices, which we freeze dry as well, we'll throw in some flavoring.
Frosting, you can put that in frosting.
What's that?
Put it in frosting.
And frosting, yes. So you can use it as a flavoring color, right? So we have a Sunday brunch with all the kids, and they come, and my wife makes cinnamon rolls. It's a tradition, right? And so we started sprinkling. We made raspberry ones, we make lemon or orange ones, and we'll take these powders now and just make cinnamon rolls with cream cheese frosting, and then we'll sprinkle or mix this in with it, and it gives it such a great flavor because, like you said, when you freeze dry it, the flavors become more robust, and so you start using your own. It's not only better for you, but it's a lot cheaper. Yes?
How do you powder it?
How do I powder it? So I will just take a bunch of strawberries, freeze dry them, whether sliced or whole, stick them in the blender, blend them up, and you get powder.
So you don't have to slice them to freeze dry them? You can freeze dry them whole?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do whole chocolate-covered strawberries that we do for a customer. Whole, and strawberries aren't very dense, so you can just throw them out on the tray, freeze them. One thing I do sometimes is if you go to Costco and get the 3-pound bag of strawberries, since they're already frozen, and they're ICF, which is quick frozen, you can just put them on your tray and stick them right in your freeze dryer. You don't even have to put them in your freezer. So you can do the whole bag of strawberries already frozen, stick them in, and you don't have to, there's no prep, there's no nothing, they're just strawberries. So that makes a quick thing. Yes?
Is there a trick for blackberries and blueberries? Or maybe blackberries and boysenberries?
Very much so, and it's patience. So skinned fruit, right? Like grapes, blueberries, raspberries have skins on them. What are those skins designed to do? Hold in the moisture so they don't dry out in the sun, right? Well, we don't like that when we're freeze drying because we're trying to get the moisture out. And so anything like that, you have to puncture in some form. Now, raspberries, you can go through a lot of movies sitting there trying to puncture every single nodule, right? That's option number one. The option number two is patience. You don't have a choice with raspberries. Luckily, the skins aren't quite as firm as blueberries and grapes. Blueberries, they're just going to take a long time.
What about blending before in your blender and then do it as a paste?
Oh, absolutely. That's, and it all depends on how you're going to use it at the end, right? The thought process. If you want them in whole to put in cereal or desserts and things like that later, then patience. But if you're looking to do powders, where'd my powder go? Like a blueberry powder or a raspberry powder, I would totally blend them. And then just dump it on the tray. And then when it comes out into that cake, just put it, break it up and put it in the blender. And then you got your powder. All right, what other questions on fruit? Any? All right, we're gonna move on, yes?
Cantaloupe. I've never tried it, but I have excess cantaloupe this year.
I brought, you wanna try it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I will, I'll send this around. Where's my, so cantaloupe is one of those preferences. Some people like it. Some people don't. So if I'm just take a little piece if you want to try it and pass it back, and we'll kind of get some feedback as that goes.
How thick did you cut these?
They're about 3/8 of an inch thick. Some melons, because they do have high water content, I go thicker, because otherwise they just collapse and go into nothing. What do you think?
It's okay.
Yeah.
I love cantaloupe.
I love cantaloupe too, especially with a lot of ice cream in it. But cantaloupe
It's okay.
by itself is kind of bitter, right?
Different.
Don't you think it's kind of?
Yep, I do. There is a bitter component.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that, like anything. The flavor can get accentuated or it'll lose the flavor depending on your taste buds and, you know, the flavor composition. It's hard. I know you probably all have the same experience going into the store and you see the big bin of watermelons or whatever. It's like, I hope I get it. I mean, it's like a guessing game, right, on the watermelon, because you know they picked them green. Like most all the other fruits, because they're coming from Chile or South America somewhere, so they pick them green, and you're just hoping that it ripe just perfectly by the time it got here. Growing up, I never had that problem because I'm from Idaho, so if you've heard of Hagerman watermelons, famous place that produces watermelons in Idaho, and we just get our watermelons from there, and they were picked ripe and awesome. But we do have a lot of... What's that?
Thanks for letting us try that.
Yo, you're welcome. We'll get some more things going here too. We'll let your palates kind of rinse a bit. Can you share that? If one thing could Coke, we'll take rinse your palate very well. So, all right. So, any other questions? We're going to go on to vegetables. So, freeze-dried vegetables. And let's do the same thing. We'll kind of look at some of the top pieces. And vegetables, we kind of, you know, we look at the sweeter, tartar fruits, and they're the best ones, but we miss the health benefits of vegetables. And some of my favorite, and I've had these before for you, is the asparagus with sea salt. Has anybody not tried the asparagus with sea salt?
No, but no.
You haven't tried it? Okay, remind me, and we'll get some of that. But sweet corn is probably one of the biggest snack vegetables, and like many of them, green beans. Boy, it's a new variety. All right. But sweet corn, peas, and tomatoes, well, sweet corn and peas are kind of the same thing. It's like popcorn. If you've ever done it, they're good, but you almost have to put something on them. I like using sea salt.
Salads, they work well mixed in salads.
Yeah, absolutely. For usage, they store really well, and you don't have to worry about getting them out of the freezer or especially during harvest season, you can get them and then freeze dry, and that's everybody's doing, right? Just freeze drying the harvest so that it carries through the winter. But corn and peas, you can use a lot of different flavorings to make them actually really nice. We do, in the fall, we do sweet corn with tahini flavoring. Does everybody know what tahini is? It's kind of a Mexican flavoring. And so we will do sweet corn with tahini, and it's just, it's kind of like popcorn without the pop.
You sprinkle it on before you freeze.
Yep, put it on before. When your corn's a little wet, toss it, and then put it on the tray, and then freeze it, and then freeze dry it. And it comes out great little snacks.
The corn first?
What's that?
You blanch the corn first?
Yes. So most vegetables I blanch first, especially if I'm going to eat them like as snacks. It kills any rodents in them or anything like that, bugs, no. But yeah, I blanch everything. The tomatoes, so tomatoes are one of my favorites also, is I'll take cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes, cut them in half, and then I will take jalapeno salt and salt the top of them. Now you can use any flavoring you want, whatever you like. I like kind of that, I like some heat. So try that, they're really good. And I've even had people that don't like tomatoes, so no, just try it. And they tried it, and it's like, wow, that's really good.
Jalapeno salt?
What's that?
Do you make your jalapeno salt, or do you buy it?
I do make some now, but originally I didn't. I just bought jalapeno salt off of Amazon.
Yeah, I never even knew there was such a thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in stores, but Amazon has it, and I bought it there. What I use now is I'll go to Costco, and you may have seen this, but it's a green bottle about this big. It's called 505 green chilies. So it's pretty spicy. You freeze dry it, it'll burn your tongue. I mean, taking out the water, it goes from a medium to extra hot. So I just use a little bit of that, combine it with a little sea salt and maybe a little garlic and a little, make my own little seasoning, and then I'll do my stuff now with that, and that works really well. So if you like hot, just get one bottle of 505 green chilies, freeze dry it, and then powder it up, and you can put it in other things, and just don't use very much. Okay? Beet chips, all the typical ones there. Almost everything you can put flavorings to. Don't be afraid to experiment, because if you experiment, it's funny how things you'd think it's like, that's not going to work, and then it comes out and it's like, wow, that's incredible. So have fun with it.
What kind of seasoning would you use on beets?
On beets? What do you like?
Like beets?
Just plain beets?
Pickled beets?
Pickled beets? Have you ever tried pickled beets?
Yeah,
Try pickled beets.
So,
No, I mean freeze-dried. Try freeze-drying pickled beets. I don't like pickled beets. My grandma used to make them, and it's like the worst thing ever. But freeze-dried, it's like, wow, there's that extra zingy flavor to them. So again, it's a preference thing, but yeah, try different things. I prefer, instead of slicing my beets, I like cubing them. And I actually cook beets I'll put them in the Instapot and I'll cook them all the way through, not just a blanch. I'll cook them, and then I will. The beets I do, I like to cube them up and then just toss them in whatever I want, and then put them on the tray.
Just salt.
Huh?
Salt?
Plain salt. You can do some heat to them, a little bit of zing. I use a lot of the same seasonings that I use barbecuing. You know, Southwest Spice, Dastardly Dan's. You know, everybody has their brand that they buy, right? Try it. Yes.
I did some just plain. I just baked them through and then cubed them up like you were talking about. And they taste like candy. If you
Yeah.
put nothing on them, they just taste like candy.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're delicious.
Plain, I mean, plain is such a good thing. You know.
They're actually quite sweet.
Yeah, beets. You get that sweetness coming out of them, which makes it really, really nice. Sweet corn. I mean, you could do regular corn. I like using sweet corn. Has a little bit more of a sweet texture to it. But if you're going to throw flavoring on it, you can use any, salt and pepper corn. Anything you want for if you're going to mask the flavor with something else. Okay. What else? Any questions on making snacks out of vegetables? Yes.
We had some canned corn that was coming to expiration date, and I just opened them up and freeze dried those so I could have them last longer.
Yeah, so that's a good point. And so she said, everybody here, canned corn. She had some canned corn that had an expiration date coming, to fruition, and so she just opened it and made stuff out of it. That's a good way of utilizing and rotating your pantry, right? Is just trying things. If you had a can of green beans or green beans, depends on which ones you want, take those and put them in some spicy stuff or just some salt. See how they come out. But what's nice, and most people have a medium. You can use just one tray for that, and one tray for that, and one tray for that, and see what comes out. Okay?
So cauliflower, would you cut it all up and then blanch it first and then cut it? And then,
I would.
Okay, and then freeze it and then freeze it.
So cauliflower, broccoli, almost any vegetable, I like to blanch first because it brings out that sweetness in it. And it gets it ready for you to actually prep it. So if you don't blanch it, you have, like, for example, just some broccoli florets, right? So how are you going to prep them? You need to get them wet if you're going to, you got to wash them anyway. And I start off and wash all my vegetables in a vinegar water solution. Kills anything and really kind of gets, if there's things like broccoli, I'll throw a little baking soda in it to get it foaming a little bit, and that floats everything out that shouldn't be there. And then, then I'll blanch it, and then do whatever I'm going to do with it, adding flavorings or spices, or just shaking it dry and putting it on the tray. Yes.
Have you done cucumbers?
Have I done cucumbers? I have.
How's that?
Cucumbers, the success of cucumbers is based on the quality of the cucumber. If they get too big, it's the same thing with zucchini squash. If they get too big, they get that seed population inside that gets soft, that starts to break down. And when you freeze dry it, that stuff just withers away, right? So I would use younger cucumbers, and same thing with zucchini squash or yellow squash, crookneck, and I would just slice it, and sometimes on the bigger bulb end of zucchini squash, I'll scrape it out and get all the seeds out of it. Not because they're seeds, but that is soft, you know, and I want the harder flesh.
So would you take the seeds out of a cucumber too, or just leave them and just do young ones?
You can. I'm pretty selective, so I'll select the cucumbers that I don't think are very old, and I'll usually leave them in. But cucumbers are great doing, you can use things like ranch powder, you know, like Hidden Valley Ranch packets. If you, what's that?
Do you peel them?
Peel them? No, I very rarely peel anything, fruit or vegetables, just because that's where the nutrition is for me. And so it's like I like my potatoes with my skin on. I like you know, my watermelon. I don't like the rind. I won't eat that. But yeah, I mean. All right, so yes.
What about hominy? Do you want to make like corn nuts?
Yeah. Yeah, that you could do, I mean, those puff up really nice. Have you done it before?
No.
No.
I'm the only one that likes it. So.
Yeah, well, and you're still the only one.
I like them.
Good models of slowly go along.
I mean, it's the same thing with like, I mean, I don't like hummus. I don't like soy. I don't like, there's just certain things that I'm not a big fan of, but yeah, what do you make with it? Or do you like it just plain?
Well, yeah, just kind of make like a corn nut, because
Yeah.
corn doesn't work well for corn nuts.
It could, maybe. Try putting a seasoning on it and freeze drying it and see, but since they're a little bigger than corn, they might work out really well. So here's your challenge. Next time you need to come with some and show us what you did. You're going, I'm not coming the rest of the year. No, I'd be interested. That would be, if anybody wants to bring things that they want to share, feel free. I mean, you don't have to like eat my stuff all the time, right? Okay, let's talk about desserts a little bit. And probably one of the biggest is cheesecake and ice cream. I love cheesecake. If I buy the big round cheesecakes at Costco, I eat way too much. But if I take it and I cut it up and freeze dry it and keep it in a jar like this, like the ice cream sandwiches, then I tend not to eat as much. So, you know, I'll have like one piece instead of one piece of regular cheesecake, right? So, I'm not advertising that it's a weight loss function, but for me, you know, I can't eat freeze-dried, like there's probably 9 pieces in one ice cream sandwich. I could not eat 9 pieces of this. I couldn't, but I could eat a whole ice cream sandwich. It's kind of like the Skittles in candy, right? You go to the movie, you buy the little package of Skittles. I can eat the whole bag, but if they're freeze-dried, I can have maybe 2 Skittles and I'm done. It's weird. Anybody have the same thing? Same thing?
I wish.
Yeah. All right. So actually, while we talk about this, I'm going to open up. I'm going to send around some more. These are Granny Smith apples. Let's see. We're probably going to need. I'll just put it right here.
So you just slice and then freeze them?
Yeah. It's funny, kind of going back to what we talked about, is, you know, the taste gets more, and this is not the Cracker Jack surprise. There's only a few of us who know about Cracker Jack surprises, right? Okay, so these are Granny Smith. Now Granny Smith are known for, what do you normally make Granny Smith with? Pies, right? How are those? Pretty tart, huh? So some people really like the tartness of apples. Now, if you look at the app, and I'll stick this kind of out here if you want. You don't have to eat it, but this is a good example of how things change flavor, right? Granny Smith is my favorite apple. But when I freeze dry it, it's not my favorite anymore. Not because I don't like it, it's just that I like, I don't have any, they're over on the rack, but I like the Gala apples freeze dried with chocolate on them. Oh. They're over there on the stand, but we experimented with these and we put caramel on them. But caramel has a lot of water in it. Unlike chocolate doesn't have water in it. So it would kind of, if you ever done like sugary stuff and it kind of bubbles up, that's what it would do. And we couldn't find a caramel with a high enough quality to survive the freeze dryer. So we do just the Granny Smiths, but they're kind of interesting. It's kind of like if you combine candies, some sour, some regular. You do this with the apples at Halloween, right? I used to take M&Ms and Skittles, and in my office I would combine them in a glass jar, and people would come in and grab a handful, huck them in their mouth, not seeing the little S on it or the M, and so they would get this M&M and Skittle bite. You should see their face. So it's a surprise, but same thing, you can do with the different freeze-dried stuff because it changes the flavor. Yeah.
Is there a good test for knowing that it's done? I mean, not just the apples, but just kind of everything, like your candies, your cheesecakes. How do you really know something is complete?
So for me, it's practice. I don't think there's anything more sensitive than your hands, your eyes, and your mouth. Some people will go buy moisture sensors from Home Depot. They have two little prongs on them and you stick them in, right? Well, that's for wood. And they're not sensitive enough, right? And I see them, whenever I go to someone's house, I see them all the time. And it's like, I would not rely on that because the problem with freeze drying is you could have a pocket of moisture here, and if you stuck a prong in the moisture and the other prong in a dry piece, it's going to say it's dry because it doesn't transfer through the prongs. It measures through energy, and so unless there's continual moisture through it, it won't really pick it up, and it'll say, oh, I'm dry. And it only goes to about 95% effectiveness as far as if you have more than, if you have 5% moisture or less, it won't pick it up. It's not sensitive enough. So I just recommend when it's done, you pull it out, you look at the things that are more dense foods. Mangoes are more dense than strawberries. So if you're doing the same, like a bag of mixed fruit, hit those mangoes or the things that have complex sugars like pineapple and test those. If those are done, your other ones are done, right? So it just takes a little bit of practice. So long answer on your question is hands, eyes, taste.
It doesn't have to turn to like powder because like that apple was really firm. Mm-hmm. And I would have thought, oh wait, it's not powder. So depending on what it is, the texture can just still be different and it can be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so cheesecake ice cream. Does anybody want ice cream? Yeah.
You just cut them up and
I cut them up first.
you cut them up first. What, is that what you said?
Yeah, so, just, you can just carry them around if you want. So the way I do these, they're a little bit of a pain, and that's why we don't, if you look on my stores, not on my website, but some of our social stores, they're pretty high priced because you can't buy them in bulk, and you have to unwrap each individual one. But you also, if you don't squish them, and give them a little bit of pressure, then they separate really bad. So, so after you unwrap them, you kind of give them a little push, and then you cut them in 9 pieces, maybe, one down the middle, and maybe 3 or 4 slices to get the little cubes. Does that?
Now,
And then
do you do just regular ice cream and spread it out, or is that?
those are ice cream sandwiches.
But can you take regular ice cream and spread it out? I can't imagine.
Ice cream's funny because every brand is going to be different. The more water in it, the more bubble up you can get. So,
Mainly ice cream sandwiches you can do.
what's that?
So it's mainly with ice cream products, you're talking just ice cream sandwiches.
Well, ice cream in general, if you're making ice cream anything, you need to test the product before you go whole hog on buying a gallon of ice cream going, I'm going to make dollops, blah, blah, blah. Because that brand could be high in water content.
How would you know which brands are the best, or is there a way?
Can you tell us?
Testing it. And I used to do quite a bit of ice cream until I figured out, it's not worth it. You can't pay me enough. So I'll do it for fun, but because it's a lot of work to get it really good. You want to put your trays in the freezer and have them cold first. And then you want to take your ice cream out of the freezer so it melts just enough so you can scoop it. But if you start getting the melting of it, it's going to bubble on you. So you don't want to get it. So you got to keep it cold enough, but not so cold that you can't, serve it. And so the way I do it, I have big freezers. So you're standing in the freezer with your ice cream, and while you're dipping it out, and then if it's starting to get soft, you close the freezer door for 10 minutes, and then you go back in, and you're scooping it out with a cookie dough scoop. So it's just to get it to where I'm happy with it. It's a lot of work. So to take kind of melted ice cream and put it on a tray, I've never tried, just because I know it's probably going to, high likely, it's just going to boil up and make a mess. And I don't know what I'd do with it even if it worked, right? So it's like, do I just eat ice cream squares maybe? I don't know. I haven't had that. So that's your assignment. We got Hominy over here. You're doing ice cream next time, and you're bringing ice cream.
Can you do the chocolate covered fruit? The true fruit or whatever. I wonder if that.
The tofu?
Yeah.
Can you freeze dry them?
Yeah. Why?
If you can get, are they solid covered?
Yes. Chocolate's outside solid. The inside has a creamish dip. Anybody try those? They're so good.
Yeah.
Frozen. They're true fruit, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would work. And then they're frozen like raspberry or strawberry.
Yeah. So if you could get in through the chocolate, the berry would shrink, but the chocolate wouldn't do anything. So, yeah. In fact, the owner of Tofu is the son of the guy that owns Harvest Right.
Really?
Yeah. He makes a lot of money on Tofu. They're everywhere, if you've noticed. Yeah. Yes.
I'm kind of curious over here, but you said you put chocolate on stuff. What kind of chocolate are you using?
So I do 2 types of chocolate. So the question was, what chocolate do I use to put on mine? And I've tried different chocolates. Don't get the chocolate from Walmart. You know, the drizzling chocolate. I don't know what they do to it, but it just doesn't come out well. And I've tried a lot of different ones. So I will buy bulk chocolate Merkins, which is it's called Merkins chocolate. You can get it on Amazon in, you know, big bags, or we get Ghirardelli chocolate. And they're just the little wafers that you melt down and temper. And then, you know, we have a drizzler and everything, so. But that's what I would use, Merkins or Ghirardelli. Okay? All right.
What type of yogurt do you use?
I'm kind of picky on yogurt. I don't use store-bought yogurt. I like Daren, Yoplait. It's not yogurt, it's candy. I mean, it's just sugar, right? And since it has so much sugar in it, it will bubble. That sugar will bubble, and depending on how you do it, Daren is particularly bad. I've tried different ones. So I only use Greek yogurt, 100% Greek yogurt. But if you're a yogurt eater, Greek yogurt's kind of bitter, right? So guess what you do with it? I flavor it. And so we'll do like little dollops for kids. You know, for if you're at church, you just feed them these yogurt drops that are so good, but it's not candy and it's good for them, right? So if you, and I just...
Put that in the yogurt first, then freeze fry it.
What's that?
You put that in the yogurt first, then
Yeah.
freeze fry it.
I'll add this to the yogurt, whip it up, put it in a pipette, and just dollop on a, or if you want to use a Ziploc bag and cut the corner off and do it that way. So, or you can use a spoon, yeah, I just do an icing thing and put it on the trays. Okay. All right, here's some bonus items. So I talked about the pizza bites a little bit, and I brought some before. Did anybody have those when I brought some before? Yeah, you had some. Those are our early version. We have even a better version now. That version, we took pizza dough, and if I remember correctly, we put pizza dough and then we put our sauce on it. And, you know, just like you're building a homemade pizza, and then I baked it. And then when it came out and it was still soft, you know, we cut it up. And then we freeze-dried it. Perfect little crackers. Pretty good. What do you think?
Good.
Pretty good. The problem with that is a lot of work. And I didn't, you know, some of the cheese would come off and it would separate a little bit. And this is just part of that experimentation piece. So what we did is we took the pizza dough and we fine chopped olives and jalapenos and fine grated cheese and Parmesan, and we mixed it all in the dough. So it's all just dough. And then we put the pizza sauce on top, because the pizza sauce doesn't come off, and then baked it and cut it when it came out, and splendid. And they look like, well, that's not a picture, but they look great. That worked out a lot better for us. And you get more of a flavor throughout the dough than, you know, it's kind of like your kids in pizza. They pick off the pepperoni, right? So you don't do that now because it's all mixed in the dough, and it's so much easier. That makes sense? Try it at home. Just go get a pizza dough packet or whatever, and then just throw stuff in it. Fine chopped, throw stuff in it, roll it out, bake it, and then just cut it up and freeze dry it, and you'll have great little crackers. Yeah?
Did you say you put the cheese in the dough too?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds cool.
So the other thing, has anybody done pickles?
Yes.
Pickles? How are the pickles?
So salty. They go really salty, but they're good.
The vinegar is almost overbearing, right?
Crazy.
Now, the first batch of pickles I did years ago, I just put them on the tray, froze them, and freeze dried them. Is that how you did it? And my son loved them. I couldn't barely get them to my mouth because the vinegar smell was so strong. So now we rinse them and rinse them and rinse them. Get all of that juice out of them so they're just pickles. And then I have a bunch going on right now, and they just weren't going to be done this morning. But I have some ranch flavored, and I have some jalapeno flavored pickles.
Did you notice how salty they are? How usually the salt really comes out?
If you rinse them good, then yeah, you don't get that. So you got to rinse all that vinegar out of there because it really gets strong. So, and different brands of pickles, it's just like the ice cream. Different brands of pickles are harsher than others. So you just have to pick, what's good for you. The Mount Olive brand is probably the cheapest pickle with the least amount of vinegar, so they rinse out really well. But there's kosher and hamburger deals and sweets. I haven't done sweets before, but I might try those next because we get our pickles in 5-gallon buckets, so it's a lot of pickles. But yes.
Can you put several layers then on those?
Yeah, I do them like strawberries. I will put like a tray worth in a bowl, add the seasoning, toss it, and then just dump them on the tray. But I don't arrange anything, right? I mean, I won't get them too thick, but they're touching, overlapping, and stuff. It's fine. Okay. Edible flowers. Anybody done edible flowers?
Really?
They're actually pretty good, and especially if you put like the strawberry powder on them. They at great weddings or parties, you bring edible flowers that have flavor on them, and anyway, you'll be the bomb of the party. What is this? And then you grab a flower and start eating it. It's awesome. Yes.
Is the flowers on the app, or what would you program your freeze dryer?
I do it in candy mode because they just don't have enough water to make it a difference. So depending on the flower, you just have to regulate your temperature. And version 6, which this machine has version 6 on it, you can regulate the temperature a lot better than version 5 and below. Okay?
Can we update our freeze dryer, like whatever software thing we have on, can we update it to the 6?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Say again.
If we don't have 6 on there, can we update it to 6?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, just go to harvestright.com and you can download the update and then apply it. And there's directions all on harvestright.com. So harvestright.com, click on the support button, and then go down halfway. It says software and manuals, and then you'll need to know your version number so you download the correct number. Did you have a question?
Well, I just didn't know about this mode thing. Ours doesn't have a mode, I don't think.
Ours doesn't use their older models.
What do you mean mode thing? Like candy mode?
Yeah, I have not seen anything like that.
So if you have 5.x .19 or above, you have candy mode.
Oh.
If you don't, download it, and then there's in my book, the last chapter is dedicated to candy mode, but you can also go to harvestright.com, type in candy mode, and the directions will print out.
I think they charge you for it. I think I called last time and they charge you for it.
How much they charge you for it?
No, I think they charge you for it.
Not if you download it yourself. If you call them up, they're going to charge you $45 just to talk to you. So, but if you just get on their support line or get on their website, you can just type it in and then print it out. Easy enough. Potato chips is kind of the same thing. We do our own potato chips. We just slightly blanch them, and then and thin slice them. And then we just toss them in whatever flavoring we want, put them on the tray and freeze them, and then freeze dry them.
So you're talking about starting with a potato and making your own veggies.
Yes, using our own potatoes, just a raw russet potato. But you can use red potato, whatever you want, whatever your preference is. But we use russet potatoes for our potato chips.
You slice first or blanch first?
We slice first, and then we blanch them, and then we drain them, run cool water over them to cool them down so they quit cooking. And then we just toss them in the flavoring and on the tray and in the freezer.
How thick do you cut them?
How thick do we cut them? They're about 1/8 of an inch. I mean, they're pretty thin, but not too thin. It takes some time because if you over blanch them, they fall apart like scallop potatoes. If you under blanch them, they come out okay, but you might get that potato-y, uncooked flavor. So you just have to kind of, depending on how thick you cut them and how long you blanch them, but we blanch them pretty fast, maybe 90 seconds. Okay? All right, I think that's it. I was gonna give you one more taste test. How was the ice cream?
It's good.
You like it?
So the Walmart brand they put something in it to make the ice cream firmer. Have you noticed that? And if you buy the middle gold, it'll get squishy quicker because they don't put that thickening, whatever.
Yeah.
And they taste different. I think the middle gold is better.
You can pass, take a banana. Now we take these and we sell them just like they are, or we'll drizzle chocolate on them, and that brings heaven into it. So it's good. But a lot of...
Do you put these in lemon juice before?
No, we used to, but we found that the lemon juice kind of starts eating the banana and dissolving the banana before we wanted it to. So we just are faster at getting them cut in the freezer before they start turning brown. But we'll take things for like the holidays. We will take strawberries and we will lay them out, the bigger ones, lay them out. And we'll take white chocolate and we'll make little elf hats with the white brims and the dollop on the top. And we'll make freeze-dried elf hats. And those are great for party favors, or we'll put a freeze-dried marshmallow as the little dingy thing on top, stuck with white chocolate.
Don't get in trouble.
What's that?
Don't get in trouble.
Yes. All right, so that's it. Goodbye. I've got to go. No. Any last questions? Yes.
Which candies are the easiest or the best to do, and especially chocolate? The only thing I've done is Junior Mints work, but I looked at, the sweetheart candy, the heart, conversation hearts, that little thing. Yeah.
Right.
They said they could do it, so I bought a whole bunch. Yeah, did nothing. I tried twice, nothing. And but I read it, you could do it, and it didn't work at all. It was just the same. So.
Yeah, I would say that wouldn't do anything, because that's a pressed peel. It's not really a mix of something. Those like candy hearts, they're just pressed. And
what do you recommend? Because I know that they say chocolate. Is it like a caramel chocolate you can do, or if it's not a whole chocolate you can, or
well,
the best?
Like we do M&Ms.
Oh, you can do M&Ms.
Yeah, and they get about this big.
Okay.
But the chocolate, you're not freeze drying. It just expands because it's over a nougat. And so it just kind of crackles it.
Okay.
It's not going to last any longer than regular chocolate on the shelf. So in 6 months, if you put it in a bag, it could start turning white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's getting old, it rancid. So that's not going to change, but certain chocolate candies like the Charleston Chews, they'll blow up. If you look at,
Butterfingers, would that work? Or is that not?
I haven't seen Butterfingers work. I've seen people freeze dry them, but they don't do much that I've seen.
I learned that twice. I tried those conversations because I read that it did work. I go, it did nothing. Zero.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You ready?
Yeah, we're ready. So we're going to turn the time over to Rebecca. She's going to do the giveaway real quick. Where's the box? You got it?
Is it right there? Did everybody get their name in?
I think.
Did we take out the ones from last time?
What's that?
So did we do about the ones from last time? I think we did. Okay. What do we?
We've got a couple bags of. Where's all my bags? We got a. We'll start with a bag of mangoes.
Okay. Bag of mangoes going to Maxine Blackburn.
Let's do another bag of mangoes.
Okay. Another bag of mangoes going to
Michelle.
Michelle Lai.
Michelle? Oh, over there. How about a bag of asparagus?
Okay. Bag of asparagus. One of them stuck down there. Okay, going to
Debbie Andrews.
Debbie Andrews.
Debbie?
Never had asparagus.
Okay.
It's good. It's
And
really
then
good.
our last bag will be our s'mores.
Okay. Going to
Joanne Nickel.
Joe Nickel.
You have to be present to win.
She got a meeting.
Okay, a couple of you asked, what's that?
She'll enjoy it.
Perfect, perfect. A couple of you asked me last class we had chili and wanted the recipe. I got requests from several folks, but my card's up here. If you want to send me an email, I will reply to you with the chili recipe, and it'll be good for you. It's great chili. I love it. So you liked it.
Yes, it wasn't hot like, I like hot chili, but I like mild chilies. It was very mild.
Yeah, yeah. Now, a lot of our food, just as a quick note, a lot of our food, we don't put like a lot of hot in it, or we don't put any sodium in it, or certain things, because we manufacture for senior care facilities and a lot for people that can't have or don't want those extra ingredients. So if the food's if the food's a little bland for you and needs salt, that's by design. So you salt the taste as you need it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming. Yes.
What are all the edible flowers that you do? Yeah, I know a couple of it.
I've never ordered them myself. I have my staff order them and they bring them in, and we do them for special occasions. So I don't have a good answer for you.
I know there's rose petal jam and
Yeah.
pansies or
Dandelions.
okay.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, I would just look it up online. It'll tell you all, and a florist if you want to order them bulk or wherever you get them. So, sorry I didn't have a good answer for you, but.
Is it noon yet? Have you done shrimp? I did
Shrimp?
for over 80 hours and it's still not crunchy.
I've done shrimp before. What I don't like about shrimp is it smells. I mean, you open the bag later and it smells like shrimp. And I think a lot of people would go, oh, I don't think it's good. But it is good. It just has that really shrimpy fish market smell, and that's kind of a turnoff to me.
But
So
mine didn't get like styrofoam. It's not styrofoam. It's still a little more on the chewier side after more than 80 hours.
shell on or
And
off?
cut in pieces,
Raw or cooked?
cooked
Popcorn or bigger?
bigger.
I've never had that.
Like that. They were jumbo shrimp, so I cut
Okay.
them into pieces.
We've used like the popcorn shrimp a lot because it's smaller, it rehydrates well, like in shrimp fried rice and some of our Oriental dishes that we've done. I haven't done the bigger shrimp other than I freeze dried it to store it, and I found that it was just pretty smelly, and it's like I don't know if I want to store it. Even though when I rehydrated it and kind of boiled it in some lemon juice and butter, it was just fine, but it's just getting to that point where you're cooking it, and it's like, I don't know. It's just my preference, but yeah, it's just really fishy. Yes?
So along the same line, so I've been wanting to do sardines, but I've been worried about the smell, steak, and
It was stinky.
Of your eggs?
no, sardines.
Sardines.
I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
Sardines.
Oh, sardines.
Yeah. So the smell stayed in the freeze dryer, would it make it smell?
Stuff like that, you could get carryover on your next batch. So she asked about sardines, if you didn't hear it. And so things like onions, and that have a lot of that type of aroma to them, if you don't wipe out your cylinder with vinegar and water after that batch, that smell could get on your strawberries.
The rubber seals, so you can't do that.
Yeah. And once that smell gets into the oil too, even though you wipe it out, it could transfer that smell. So I would do that type of stuff after you've used your oil for a while, and so that you can just change the oil afterwards.
And
Okay.
clean your tubes for
The water.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yes.
Sorry, do the pickles leave a bad smell?
No, not for me, because I rinse them really good, so that vinegar's out, so they're pretty weak at that point. Well, thank you, everyone. I've got a jet, and we'll see you next month. I think it's a Thanksgiving themed, if I remember right. So what to do with your Thanksgiving?
leftovers.
I think that's right, so we'll see.